Hello, welcome back to the 2023 paper. So I was discussed up to number 1 to number 15 questions in the previous video. So now I'm going to continue with the next 15 questions. So again, this is the 2023 paper. Right. So we'll start with the 16th question. So which of the following statements are true? A firewall acts as a packet filter, inspecting all packets entering the network. Yes. So firewall, what's the major job of the firewall? Firewall is there for a network to prevent unauthorized access to a network. Right? Firewall's main job is prevent unauthorized access, but there are so many other things can do using a firewall, but that's the main job, number one. So unauthorized access, preventing unauthorized access means, in simple terms, prevent hacking. If someone is trying to access your computer without your permission, it's called hacking. So how it block the hacking or unauthorized access? The firewall always inspect all the incoming packets to the network. So the statement A is correct. Statement B, a malware that misleads the users by disguising itself as a standard program is termed a Trojan horse. Yes, malware, so that means a malicious program, a harmful program, misleads users by disguising itself as a standard program. Yes, the Trojan horse programs are always hide themselves, maybe back of another program, maybe back of another file. We are the ones who take the Trojan horse program unintentionally, right? So maybe a Trojan program comes with a MP3 that we download. Maybe a Trojan program comes with a wallpaper that we download. So, or maybe another freeware. So we are the ones who take the Trojan horse program. It looks like a really usable one, but in the back end, it will do a damage after installing it. So that is also correct. And in statement C, a strong password should have combinations of uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols of sufficient length. Yes, most of the times a strong password means that should have uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, at least a mix of all those symbols and characters. And the length, at least there should be like 8 characters to become a good, strong password. So all are correct. Then number 17, which of the following statements are true? One of the uses of encryption is to ensure confidentiality of transmitting data. Yes, encryption means converting readable text to unreadable text. Yes, why it happens? Because to protect our data, when we transfer our data from one computer to another computer via a network, our data's security or data's integrity is ensured by the encryption method. So every user needs to have a pair of dissimilar keys when using asymmetric key encryption. Yes, asymmetric key encryption means public key encryption. In public key encryption, it uses 2 keys. One is private key, the other one is public key. So it says pair of dissimilar keys. Yes, 2 keys which are not equal. That is true. Users must share a common key when exchanging information using symmetric key encryption. Users must share a common key exchanging information using symmetric key. So symmetric key means the private key encryption. In private key encryption, the same key using for encryption and decryption, the both the operations. Therefore, the C statement also correct. Share a common key. Yes, the sender and receiver both should know the same key. That is the private key. Right, so all are correct. Then number 18. Which of the following considered as an erroneously received byte in an even parity system? So even parity. If it is even parity, the number of ones in the data packet should equal to an even number. If it is odd parity, finally in received data packet, the number of ones should equal to an odd number, right? So look at the first answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 ones. So even parity, yes. If it is even parity, total number of ones should be even. In number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. Correct. Even numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Incorrect. So if it is even parity, the received data packet should have even number of ones, but here there are odd number of ones. So that means the received data packet should the received data packet maybe has been altered during the transmission. So that means the data packet has a error. So fifth one, again, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, even number. So number 4 is the correct answer. Erroneously received data packet. Then number 19, match devices labels from A to E with the corresponding descriptions labeled from 1 to 5. Okay. So number 1, it stores network programs and data files for the users to access. Okay, it stores network programs and data files. Client, hub, router, server, switch. So now when we go through these devices, the only device which is able to store data is server. Connecting devices between LAN and WAN. So the only device which can interconnect different types of networks is router. When a message is received, the transmits it only on the port to which the destination computer is attached. So when a message is received, this transmits it only on the port to which the destination computer is attached. So that means when a message receives, this device transmit that message only to the correct destination, only to the correct port which attach the correct destination. So what is the device which has that ability? The switch. Switch is an intelligent device. So switch can identify the MAC address of the destination device. Next, when the data packet received to the switch, switch can read the destination MAC, and switch knows which port has that corresponding device because of the MAC table. So switch can only pass the received data packet to the correct destination without broadcasting the data packet. Right? So one-to-one communication. So number 4, request services and content from other computers. Or request services and content from other computers. So services and content, yes, client. So client means the end device. Any end device is a client in the network. It could be a desktop, it could be a laptop, it could be a smartphone, it could be a printer. Any end device in a network called a client. So what clients do? Our computers, think about this, when our computers connect with internet, our computers are clients. So our computers always request different services from the internet service providing computers. So what are the internet service providing computers? Those are called servers. Computers which provide a service called servers. So we are accessing a website, or we are when opening a website, our computer requests for the web service. When we chat using WhatsApp, our device requests the chatting service. Right? When we doing a Zoom meeting, our device requesting the Zoom service from the Zoom servers. So client, when a message is received, this broadcasts it on all ports to all attached hosts. Yes, hub. Hub is a dumb device. It cannot read the MAC destination MAC address like the switch. So every received bit it's going to broadcast. Okay, so A4, B5. A4, B5, yeah, number 4. Then C2, D1, E3. Yes. Number 20. Select the answer containing the correct replacements for A and B in the following paragraph. In the internet, a host is identified by its IP address. In IP version 4, each IP address consists of bits. IP version 4 is 32 bits. Identify a host. The newer version of IP version 6 consists of 128 bits in IP address. So IP version 4 can create 4 billion IPs from its 32 bits, 2 to the power 32. And IP version 6 can create many more, like according to my memory, it's 300 or trillions of trillions IP addresses, because the number of bits are 128 compared to 32 in the other version. So A32, B128, number 2 is the answer. Number 21. Which of the following statements regarding DNS or domain name systems are correct? So statement A, it maps web addresses to IP addresses and vice versa. Yes, map the IP addresses to web addresses. So what is the main job of the DNS? Convert a URL to its corresponding IP address. Now, our web browser always get the help of a DNS server in order to find the IP address of our requested website. Map the web addresses to IP addresses, yes, and vice versa. So statement B is incorrect, because hypertext transfer protocol uses the services provided by the web server. HTTP's main job is the protocol, HTTP protocol, bring the web-related data from the web server to our web browser. Right, that's the main usage, but it doesn't have anything to do with the DNS. So see, DNS maintain a hierarchy of domain names. Yes, DNS is not just a collection of domain names and IP addresses. DNS saves information about all the webs, all the all the website information in a proper hierarchy. So that's why our computers can easily search the web-related data in the domain name systems or domain name servers. So yes, there's a proper hierarchy regarding to web ratings, web ratings, web content information, and web owner information. So everything are saved in the DNS servers. So statement C, correct? AC. And number 22, which of the following statements regarding IP addresses are correct? Statement A, in class C networks, first octet value ranges from 192 through 223. Yes, class C starts from 192 to 223, the first octet range. And B, IP version 4 can assign addresses up to 4 million devices. It's 4 billion, not million. It's billion, right? And C, 192.168.0.0, 192.168.255.255 is a private IP address range. Yes, in class C range, the private range is starting from 192.168.0.0 and it ends with 192.168.255.255. So that's a private range. So every class has its own private range. The entire range, the bigger range, and the private range is a tiny range. Maybe in the middle of the range. So that private range using by the LANs, local area networks, or personal devices. All right, so C is also correct. AC is the answer. And number 23, if Suresh wants to send an encrypted message to be read only by Amara using asymmetric key encryption, right? So asymmetric key encryption, that means public key, right? Public key encryption. So number one, Suresh should encrypt his message using his public key. So it goes like this. So these are the connected two devices. So Suresh wants to send an encrypted message. So this is Suresh. By only read by Amar. So this is Amar. So Suresh should encrypt his message using his public key. No. Suresh should encrypt the message using Amara's public key. Right? Amara's public key. Suresh should encrypt his message using his private key. No. Amara's public key. Suresh should encrypt his message using Amara's public key. Yes. Suresh should encrypt his message using Amara's private key. No, Amara's private key is private for the Amara. So Amara doesn't tell anything about the private key for outsiders. It's a secret for Amara. And Suresh's private key is a secret for Suresh. Amara's private key is secret for Amara. Suresh should encrypt his message using both private and public. No. Only one key using for encryption or decryption. So number 3 is correct. Number 24. Choose the option containing most suitable deployment type for the following system. A. New system to replace an existing air traffic control system and airport. So, what is the most suitable deployment method for an air traffic control system in an airport? So, air traffic control system is it's a critical system, a high risk, critical and very advanced system. So these kind of systems should replace by the safest deployment method. So what is the safest deployment method is parallel deployment method. We have 3, 4, and 5. So B, a system for the customers of an island-wide supermarket chain to order goods online, like Keels. So it's island-wide supermarket chain. There are so many branches around the island, and the system is huge. So many customers are involving with this system, and there are so many branches. So this kind of a system, this kind of a new system replacement, it's better to go with yeah, the pilot deployment method. Right, pilot deployment method, because they can first pick one branch and install the new system, then monitor it for a time, maybe a time period like 1 month, and make sure the system runs smoothly. Then after the entire organization can adapt to the new system or install the new system for all the other branches island-wide. So yes, pilot is better. Yes, number 3. A system for the public to enter comments regarding a service experienced by them at an office. So it's like when you go to a bank, sometimes there are touch screens in every teller at the every teller. So after we doing our transaction or whatever the business, we can give our feedback using the touch screen, like good, okay, or bad. There are emojis, 3 or 4 emojis on the touch screen, then we can press it. But like 10% only, according to my experience. No one bother to touch the screen. So after they do their transaction, they just go out from the bank. Only like 10% touch the screen. So it's not a critical system. That kind of a system is not directly effects on the day-to-day operations of the bank. So it's a simple system. So this kind of a simple system can go with the cheapest and fastest deployment method, direct deployment. So number 3 is the answer. Then number 25, which of the following is non-functional requirement for an e-commerce site? Non-functional. So that means non-functional requirements define additional functionality for the critical functional requirements. And also non-functional requirements are not considered as musts for a system. It's not depends on the system core functionality. So non-functional for an e-commerce site. So remember the context when you answering this kind of question, always keep in mind what is the using system, because a non-functional system in a one particular system may be a functional system in another system, right? That one requirement is not always functional or not always non-functional for all the systems, right? One non-functional system could be a functional system for another different system, right? Therefore, just think about the context here. E-commerce site. Being able to add items to the shopping cart. Yes, if it is a e-commerce system, shopping cart should be there. So that's functional, that's a must. Being able to make payments online. Yes, since it's a e-commerce system, users should be able to pay online. That's functional. Being able to view the item based on item category. Being able to view the items based on item category. Yes, that's a must. Because we always search items by accessing the menu. So menu gives us different categories like fashion or clothing or toys or shoes or watches, different categories. So category wise, the users should be able to shop. That is a must. Category wise, menu should be there in e-commerce site. Each item to be shown with a small image and a description. Yes, images should be provided. It's a must. And a description should be provided for each item. Otherwise, because this is virtual shopping, that is the only way that the customers can get an idea about the purchasing device, because they cannot have the look and feel. It's the items are not tangible. They cannot touch and get the feeling of the item, and they cannot operate the item online. So look at the next one, the e-commerce site to be accessible through popular web browsers. Actually, the functional requirement is here is the e-commerce site should be accessible through web browsers. Through web browsers. There's an additional thing added like popular web browsers. That is non-functional, right? That is non-functional. It's not a must. Through popular, the main functionality should be, main requirement is access through web browser, not popular web. Right? Could be popular or non-popular, whatever. So this is the non-functional requirement. All right. Then number 26, during which of the following is an application tested by its developers in a setting that closely resembles its intended deployment hardware, software, and network configuration environment? Yeah. So come again, during which of the following is an application, which of the following is an application tested by its developers? Tested by its developers. in a setting that closely resembles intended deployment hardware, software, and network configuration environment. So, yes, tested by developers about hardware, software, and networking configuration environment. So that means it looks like an overall test. It tests the hardware, it tests the software, it tests the network. It's an overall test. So overall test called a system test. The acceptance test is the client tests the system with the agreement. Integration testing means just test the integration or connectivity between functions. And parallel testing, there's no such a thing called parallel testing. Unit testing means developers just test the function by function, developed by themselves. But there's an error in this question. It says application tested by its developers. So if we get the meaning, developers means the programmers, then there's an error. But if we get the developers as the development company, yes, it's fine. Development company, right? So I think the whoever created this question meant that the development company. All right, then system testing. Then number 27. A company considers developing a new software application for its use. The application is expected to re-engineer internal processes, improve collaboration, and enhance productivity. However, during the feasibility analysis, it was identified that the new software may face some resistance from employees who are accustomed to the existing process. Which component of the feasibility study would have helped to get that information? Yes. So feasibility means deciding that should we continue with the project or not. So at the beginning, in SDLC, what's the first step? Requirement analysis. The second is feasibility. So according to the identified requirement, in feasibility stage, the development company have a discussion with the client and decides and explains to the client, you should continue with the project or not. Because if the client's desires and the client's set goals won't be achieved using the proposed system, then there's no point of developing the system, right? So here it says in feasibility study revealed that the users may face some resistance. Sorry, software may face some resistance from employees. So employees means the users of the system who are accustomed to existing processes. So they used to use the existing processes, but the newly re-engineered processes in the new system will be rejected from the user. So that's the final outcome of the feasibility. So this kind of feasibility is studied under the operational feasibility. So operational feasibility studies what should be the feedback from the system users, new system users. What will be the feedback from the new system users? Will they going to use the system willingly or will they reject it? So find the answers for those questions under the operational feasibility. Then number 28. Select the option which include the most suitable replacement for the label P to S in the following data flow diagram of a library management system. Yes, there's a DFD with some blanks, data flows. The only given clue is it's a library management system. So we can see processes, book search, book lending, book return. And the external entity here is member. And there are two data stores, books and members. So P, book search. To search a book, member should give P and return search results. Right. To search a book, user can give keywords or member IDs. That's the only available two options here. Actually, to search a book, user should give the book name or the ISBN number or the author's name or the publisher's name, that kind of a keyword. Right? So there's no point of entering the member ID to search a book. So we can cut off 4 and 5. And Q, book lending. Now member is ready to lend a book. To lend a book, member should provide his registered information like QR. So QR should be member ID. Yeah, member ID. Keyword. No, there's no point of giving keywords to the book lending. Keyword, yeah. No point of going with keywords. Member ID and R, book details. Yes, to bring a book home, that person should give his identification, member ID, and the book details. Right. Then from the member, S comes to book return. Yes. When returning the book, the written information goes back to the member and the member should give book details to the book return process. So then the process will mark, all right, so this book has been already returned back safely, and the written information given back to the member. So number 1 is the correct answer for number 28. It's an easy question because once you identify P and Q correctly, then then no need to worry about the R and S whatsoever, because number 1 is the only possible answer. Right. Then number 29. Which of the following incorrect about the waterfall model of software development? It allows developers to collect and implement requirements throughout the project. No, that's a great lie. Developers cannot collect information or requirements throughout the project. All the requirements should be finalized at the requirement analysis stage. And so that's why it's called very rigid and very tough process as waterfall model. It is not an iterative model. Not an iterative model. Yes, the processes or the steps are not repeating in this model. It is suitable for software with well-defined requirements. Yes, it's suitable with well-defined requirements because the requirements cannot be changed lately, right? So the client cannot come again during the designing stage. The client cannot make another request. The agreements and everything are finalized in the requirement analysis stage, and the entire project is based on the agreement which prepared in the requirement analysis stage. It is easy to estimate the resources needed for a project. Easy to estimate the resources needed for a project. Yes, because everything will be finalized. I mean, all the negotiations, requirements, agreements, everything is finalized during the requirement analysis project. So everything is happening according to the agreement. So all the resources and all the needs will be provided according to the agreement. So it's easy to estimate the resource. No working product is available until the latter stages of the project. Yes, no working product is available until the latter stage. So latter stages means final stages. So this waterfall model push the final product, the waterfall model release the whole product at once at the deployment stage. So some other models are there which provide part by part of the system, or it complete part by part of the system and provide different parts at different stages to the client. But here, the entire product is given to the client as a whole. So that is correct. So easy to estimate the resources? Yes. Well-defined requirement? Yes. Iterative model? No, it's iterative. Everything is looping. Goes to the deployment, then deployment to maintenance, then maintenance back to the requirement analysis. Then it again goes down throughout the 6 stages. So the incorrect one is number 1. Cannot take the developers to collect and implement requirements throughout the project. No, not throughout the project. So number 30, in addition to the required features, which of the following should be considered when a government institution selects a COTS software to be implemented island-wide? Yes, if a government institution is going to make a new system, implement a new system using COTS, a commercial off-the-shelf software or ready-made software. So statement A, cost to deploy, maintain, upgrade, and modify. Yes, they should consider about the cost because costs comes with a price, and there's a maintenance cost as well. The upgrade and modification costs also there. They should consider about A. Then B, ease of integration with existing systems. Yes, so the selected codes should be integrated with the existing system. Because maybe there are some other codes also involved with the proposed system. So different codes should have a compatibility in order to the smooth process of the entire system. So after sales services from the vendor, yes, that is also critical because we are purchasing codes from a vendor. So vendor should provide the solid after sales services. Otherwise, they should not select that particular codes. Otherwise, they will be in trouble if they found any error or any maintenance issue in the codes. If the vendor is not anymore there, not there anymore to contact or to get the help, then this government is in trouble, great trouble. So all are correct. Right. So we'll discuss the next 15 questions in my next video. And if you got any doubt or any other question related to these 15 questions, just let me know in the comment section. Okay, bye-bye.